meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK 102.5 FM weather. It'll be partly to mostly sunny today. There is a chance of a shower or thunderstorm towards evening, and the temperatures in the low 90s. It'll be partly to mostly clear in the forecast, and the temperature overnight around 75. Wednesday should be partly sunny, spotty showers and thunderstorms, and looks like the temperatures will be in the low to mid-90s. Thursday and Friday, less chance of rain, low 90s, partly to mostly sunny. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam says an extradition bill that sparked mass protests is dead. Downing Street says it still fully supports Britain's ambassador to Washington despite President Trump saying he'll no longer work with him. The US State Department's approved an arms sale to Taiwan that could be worth $2.2 billion. And the UN says at least 8,000 children have been recruited by insurgent groups since the decade-long war began in northeast Nigeria.
It's 9:01.
Community Conversations is brought to you by Arkansas Early Learning, offering no-cost childcare in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to your day. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. My special guests today are Miss Kesha Haggans, who is the FSS coordinator at the Jonesboro Housing Authority. I'm going to try to hang with that whole name, but everyone knows the Jonesboro Housing Authority, and the program is under the Section 8 program. Yes. And then we also have, as a special guest, Ms. Takia Hilliard. Mm-hmm. She is a recent graduate of the program, and so we're so excited to have her here to share her story, and hopefully it encourages other people out there too who are considering it and who are already on Section 8 to consider going to the program. There's some wonderful benefits. So I want to say good morning to Mrs. Maddie Warren and Mr. Glenn Light. Thank you for tuning in, and everyone else out there watching and listening. Please take notes and pass this information on to someone else. All right, so before we get started with Miss Takia, Miss Kesha is going to give us an update. Since you were here last, it's been a while since you were here last, so give us some highlights and recap what the program is all about.
Okay, first of all, good morning. Thank you for having us, Quabila, once again. So the FSS program is the Family Self-Sufficiency Program that is ran through the, as we all call it, the HUD office, Jonesboro Housing Renewal. It's a 5-year program that helps families to become more self-sufficient. So I like to describe the program when I talk to people, it's quote-unquote weaning you off of the assistance to be self-sufficient where you don't need this anymore. Okay. So that's how I kind of like to describe it when I talk to people. So it's a 5-year program, but circumstances can happen where you can get a 2-year extension if need be. So that's what the program is pretty much about.
All right, and so give us a recap again of, so it's 5 years long.
5 years long.
Give us some insight into some of the topics or the classes, I should say, that you host.
Okay, so we do have workshops. As far as some of the components for the program, you need to education is a component. Employment is a component. You don't have to have a job when you enter into the program, but that is part of being self-sufficient is getting employment, full-time employment. So some of the workshops that we have held in the past, we've had one where it was a acing the interview workshop, and I think I said before that was Carla Lee and Gerard Lockhart that worked that workshop, and that basically gave you the points of how to interview, what not to do, what to do, how to interview for a job that you what are you passionate about? Are you really just doing this job just because you just need to do this job, or is it something that you like? Are you looking for things that you like? What to wear, what not to wear, how to talk, how to speak, just the ins and out about basic interviews.
Okay.
Another one was trying to remember. Christy Conway helped with that one, but it was talking about motivation. I think it was goals. It's been several. I can't remember everything off the top of my head, but these workshops, if the participants are the participants in the program, we have workshops every other month. If they are not able to attend the workshop, then they are required to meet with me. But the workshops are all that we've had that I've been a part of have been really good. They've had some credit counseling workshops previously. We just had a homeowners seminar, education seminar, June the 4th.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to talk about that later, that we have another one coming up. But so that was really good. So it's just different aspects that we try to cover, not just one little area, but we try to broaden and talk about several different things.
Okay. Now, some people may think, 5 years, that's a really long time. And like with all these different workshops, do they ever overlap, or do you ever go back through some and present new information, or is it the same information? Once you go through a cycle, then it's like, okay, now we're going to start the cycle over.
Now, I've only been in this position since December of last year. So some of the things I know, and Takia probably can help me with that. I know they probably did some of the credit classes, workshops pretty frequently. But I wanted to bring in some different things. I don't want to do the same things over and over and over. But I understand what you're saying as far as like the cycle of people. But you're always going to come back to working on the credit.
Okay.
You're always going to come back to education. You're always going to come back to the employment factor. But bringing different parts in, like at some point we're going to talk about nutrition. At some point we're going to talk about parenting 101. I don't know if y'all did that. Did y'all do parenting 101 classes or anything like that?
I'm not sure if I did that. We did. I didn't. That was one I didn't see.
Okay. So different things. We want to broaden it because it's more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
you deal with more than looking at your credit every day.
Yes, ma'am.
So we want to talk about different things.
All right, so we would like to bring Miss Takia in. I thank her for giving us her time, and I'm very excited to hear her story. Also want to say good morning to Miss Keandria Borders. Thank you for checking in. So, Miss Takia, can you tell us when you started the program, and what were your thoughts? Okay, one, did you start it willingly, or did someone kind of nudge you into the program, and then, what were your thoughts going into it?
Actually, the way I found out about the program was through my pastor's wife, Rosina Branch. She the one told me about it and thought it'd be a good idea if I looked into it. So I did. Once I looked into it, I thought it would be good. So that's when I signed up for it. The goals was the hardest part. I feel like the goals they was pretty. I'm not gonna say hard. I think the worst one I had was the whole education one. I'm not a big fan of school.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of school, but I did it.
Okay.
I pushed through. I did it.
So what did you end up studying when you went back to school?
Social work.
So, oh wow, we could always use more social workers. And so, how far along are you in the program, or have you graduated?
I graduated. Which program?
Well, your social work program.
No, I got a year left.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so, have you already been scouting potential agencies to work for? Or?
Not yet. I haven't. I actually like the company I'm with, so I probably will stay where I am and maybe just move around a little bit.
Now You got your that one degree, your first degree in 2016.
Yeah.
So she does have her first degree.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
2016.
Yes.
All right. So now you work. What was that degree in?
It was just in liberal arts.
Okay.
I got that one in liberal arts,
yeah.
All right, so wow, you're well on your way to getting your career in a more advanced place. And so your story can be a motivation for others that are considering joining the FSS program and, elevating themselves in different ways, in different areas of their life.
Absolutely.
All right, so give us some insight into some of the workshops that you attended, ones that you liked the most, ones that you felt were like, okay, this is really challenging, but I'm going to push through anyway.
The one that I liked the most was the credit workshop, and it was also the most challenging. I did not realize trying to fix my credit was so hard. It is the hardest thing that I have ever tried to do in my life. I was one of those 18-year-olds, let's get this, let's get that. Yes, ma'am. And I most definitely regret it now. I wish I would have listened when my grandmother used to tell me, don't ruin your credit, don't do this. Of course I didn't listen. Man, I wish I would have listened.
So are you trying to now pass on that knowledge to your children?
Yes.
Do you have any grandchildren?
No.
Okay, so your child or your children, if you don't mind?
13 and 3.
Okay, so the 13-year-old definitely can use this information.
Yes, I drill that in his head all the time. All the time.
So do you feel like he listens, or is like, okay, whatever, Mom?
Yeah, I think he like, that don't affect me right now, Mama. I don't care what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness. No, since you do have children, and you have a 13-year-old, going through the program, did you all ever have conversations about why you're doing this, why you're trying to better yourself or better your situation, rather?
Yeah, we did. We talked about it a lot, especially with the whole, I was giving them examples of why I was working so hard to try to build my credit and with school and things like that. We had a lot of long conversations about it, actually, because he was up with me at night when I was studying for a test and things like that, so we did.
You feel that, and I'm asking this because there are some parents who may feel their kids either don't get it or don't care or just kind of whatever about the situation, but do you feel that it helped either strengthen your relationship or just change it in a way that now you all can either talk more openly, and your son now sees Mama's really trying to make a better life for us?
Yeah, I think it did build us a little, bring us a little closer together, because like I said, he was up with me. He was helping me. That was our little bonding time when he was helping me study. Going over my questions with me, and I got to give him the answers on my study guide. I mean, the roles had reversed. That's what I normally do with him, and he was doing it with me.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
So do you see yourself now trying to help nudge others that you may know get into the program and share the benefits of going through this, and how, and I'm going to have Ms. Kesha go back through some of the other benefits, the incentives rather, of going through the program when there's like a savings program also.
Escrow.
Escrow.
Yes,
so
yes.
Do you see yourself now, okay, look, this is what I went through, it was worth it, you all should consider?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And have you had a chance to refer anyone, no names, but have you had a chance to refer anybody in particular?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
So what happens when people want to get on the program? There is, just throw this out here, you have to be, of course, on Section 8.
Okay.
And then there is a waiting list.
Okay.
So you have to sign up on the waiting list. Right now, we probably have about, we probably have about 168, 169 on the waiting list.
Oh, wow.
So, but what happens is I go through the waiting list monthly, and I say, for instance, it's July now, so I may go through the waiting list, send 10 letters out. Okay. So in those letters, it's gonna say, "Hey, Betty, we now have spots open in the FSS program.
Okay.
If you're interested in being on the program, you need to contact me by July 30th.
Okay.
If I don't hear from Betty by July 30th, I may call Betty. I probably will.
Okay.
I may call her. If she's responding, that's fine. If I don't get any response, I'm not going to keep calling Betty. I'm going to mark her off the list and go on to the next person.
Okay.
If you tell me, yeah, I'm interested, okay, so I'm going to set up a meeting with you to discuss. This is how I do it.
Okay.
I don't know how the previous coordinators did it, but we're going to have one meeting to see, okay, is this really what you want to do? This is a 5-year program. Are you wanting to go through these goals? Are you wanting to commit for those years? Yeah, I want to do it. Okay, well, I want you to go home and think about it. And then we're going to have another meeting. So we'll have a second meeting. So I have about 3 meetings before I decide, because really it's up to me to decide if I'm going to put that person in the program, because you're going to commit to the program and you're going to commit to me as well to help you through the program. So it's about 3 meetings before we'll see if this is something that you want to do. And if not, that's fine. If you decide this is not what I want to do right now, I'll take you off the list, but you can always re-sign back up on the list.
Okay. I want to say good morning to a few people. Ms. Frida Warren Snipes Warren, Rebecca Laurel Evans, Kwaisi Kinsiadeli, please, Delele, please forgive me for chopping that up. She says,
"Oh,
hey.
That's Kwaisi, yeah, hey."
She said, Kesha Haggans is amazing. All right, and good morning to Portia McCoy and Aisha Stafford.
Oh, hey, Aisha, hey, friend.
And again, anyone out there listening and watching, please pass on this information. Send them to Ms. Kesha if you think they would be a great candidate for the FSS program. You know, the overall goal is, like you said, getting people more self-sufficient, getting them off of being dependent on government assistance.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with needing it at the moment and using it, but the goal overall is not to be totally dependent on for the rest of your life.
And that's what I want to reiterate too. There's nothing, I don't want to sound like, you know, she think no, because what I mean, I was on it too. Okay, so there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying that, but like you said, the goal is to equip people to be self-sufficient, to wean off of it and let other people that need it use it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to Ms. Takia and ask her, if you don't mind sharing, what were some of your own personal goals that you outlined going through the program? And I'm sure they probably changed from the beginning, middle to the end. So can you kind of give us some insight into some of the goals you set for yourself?
Well, school was one.
Okay.
School was one. I was actually trying to find a job where I will go ahead and be able to get off the program that made the income that I needed. That was one, and I succeeded in that one.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And the other one was home ownership. I'm still working on that one.
Okay. So at the moment, have you located some homes that you're interested in, and maybe working with what do you call it? I don't want to call it real estate agent, or working with the other people, the people that can help you secure the home?
No, I haven't started doing any of that yet because I got a specific score in my mind, and until I get to that score, I'm gonna wait.
Okay. And so you're still going through the credit repair process. Okay. And so what is that? You know, a lot of people shy away from that. Me personally, I look at my numbers on this one website. I'm like, okay. So what was your push and motivation besides home ownership? What else pushed you to say, okay, I need to really work on my credit?
It was home ownership.
Home ownership was it for you?
Yes, that was my goal. That was the biggest goal.
All right. And do you now find yourself just in your social circle talking about the different aspects of the program, you know, what you have experienced, what you went through, and hopefully it'll trigger something in them to say, okay, even if they don't go to that program, maybe they will start making some changes in their personal lives?
Yeah, I think I talk about it a lot now. I do. I hope I ain't turn nobody away when I talk about Kesha. Okay. I'm just joking. She's amazing. I'm just joking. But she will push. She most definitely will push.
And those are the kind of people and leaders you need of programs. People that's going to hold your hand to some degree, be compassionate. However, they're going to say, look, when you get through crying, or better yet, you can cry while we're going. We're going to keep it moving, though. They kind of give you that push and nudge. It's okay, look.
And one thing I'm going to say about when I first, like I said, I've only been in this position since December, but when I first met Takia, she was one out of, well, I've had some kind of, but anyway, it's about, now we're back up to 25, but when I first met her, she was one that was, give it to me straight, you know, don't give me the runaround. She's A, B, C, and D. She's straightforward. She wants you to give it to her straight. Don't sugarcoat anything.
Wow.
And because she was already knew how close she was, you know, to graduate and being successful again at the program. So just her drive to finish, because she's very strong-willed, and she can be stubborn. But she's very strong, and she knew what she wanted. And if she had questions, she wasn't scared to ask you. So people I love that. Now, I mean, it's fine if you have questions, but I love when people are she's just gung-ho. She was ready to get it done and get it and just be finished with it, and so she can just go on. And I think now your mindset does change when you've accomplished all those things, and because you have to be honest to look at your credit.
Yeah.
Like, you have to tell the truth and be like, you know what? I need to stop being a fool. I need to stop doing this.
Definitely.
So I think that, and I'm talking to me too, looking at that and being honest. Okay, why do you keep buying this?
Right.
You can. It's only so many pairs of black shoes.
Right.
You need to buy. Stop it. You know,
don't buy no more black
Don't buy
shoes.
no more black shoes. You know what I'm saying? So when you are honest and you're looking at where is your money going, you're looking at, okay, why am I spending $200 eating out? That's groceries. I can cook. But you got to stop being lazy. Get up and cook. Go take that $200. Go to the grocery store, and you can make that food and money stretch with that instead of going training your children to go to me. That your first thought is to go get chicken nuggets instead of going home.
Stay out of my house
To cook. I'm talking to you. Okay, but I'm learning just like they're learning. I'm learning as well. I've already learned. There's no sense in spending $10 on a cup of coffee. You can go to Walmart and buy you a value pack. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different. You have to be conscious of what you're doing with your money. That's one step with your credit. Look, be conscious of what you're doing with your money. So what are you doing?
Retraining your mind,
absolutely,
and your behaviors to match the lifestyle that you desire.
Mm-hmm. And then you don't have to match the lifestyle you desire, but also live within your means. Now, you don't have to try to be whatever and be something that you're not. If you can't buy Starbucks, go to Walmart and get great value. Right. It's okay. It's okay. And put it in a Starbucks cup.
Okay, I know that's right. I want to say good morning to a few more people. Rosina Branch, she says,
hey, Miss Rosina.
And then, hey. All right, Miss Etoya Thompson Barnes says good morning.
Hey, Toya. Hey, friend.
And Joanne Lewis says so true. Yes, we have to be mindful of our spending because our children are watching us.
Absolutely.
People in our communities are watching us. And, you know, we never know how much we are influencing someone around us. I'm going to get ready to take a break. Straight this back up. But we have to be mindful of what we're doing because someone else is watching.
Absolutely.
Leave it at that. So
absolutely.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll pick up our discussion. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
What should you do when your spouse irritates you? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Recently, my wife Susan and I had one of those conflicts where we started talking about one thing but ended up listing everything that we sometimes find irritating about each other. All of it could have been avoided if we just remembered some important facts. First, we are equal opportunity agitators. We both do things that annoy each other, and we need to step back and look at ourselves first. Second, it's not all about me. A husband and wife should seek to serve the other, to do what's best for the other. Love is all about giving to your spouse. For more on what to do when your spouse irritates you, check out my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a non-profit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Help keep KLEK on the air. We are seeking 100 donors to give at least $20 per month, but we are happy with any gift, large or small. Come by our studio at 1411 Franklin Street in Jonesboro. Call us at 870-277-1080 or visit our website, klekfm.org, or you can use Cash App, $KLEKFM, or text KLEK1. Send it to 44321.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com. Check out Melvin Williams of the Williams Brothers every Sunday morning from 5 to 7 a.m. here on KLEK for the Melvin Williams Down Home Gospel Radio Show, playing the very best in quartet and inspirational gospel music that you'll love, as well as feature interviews with all of your favorite gospel artists. It's Melvin Williams Down Home Gospel Radio Show, Sundays from 5 to 7 a.m. on KLEK 102.5 FM.
KLEK 102.5 FM wants to be active in the community. If you or your organization is hosting a community service event, we would like to know about it and be a part of it. KLEK will promote your event on air, online, and on social media. KLEK personalities may also attend the event and provide music and or entertainment. Certain restrictions and availability may apply. If you or your organization would like to partner with KLEK to make the Jonesboro community a better place, call 870-277-1080 or email us at klek@klekfm.org. In order for a community announcement or church announcement to be aired on KLEK 102.5 FM, we ask that the announcement be sent at minimum 1 week in advance. Thank you for supporting KLEK 102.5 FM.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM with my special guest, Ms. Kesha Haggans, who is the FSS coordinator at the Housing Authority, which is the Family Self-Sufficiency Program, and Ms. Takia, did I say that right? Takia Hilliard. She is a recent graduate of the program, and so we've been enjoying, I hope you all have been enjoying our conversation. I'm learning a lot. I hope that other people are inspired and motivated to either sign up or if they get their letter, to go ahead and respond to Ms. Kesha.
Please.
So they can be a part of the program. Now, again, it is 5 years worth of commitment, but just think about what else you could do in 5 years and how beneficial that time would be for you to go through the program. So we talked about some of the workshops that you host, and you really try, even though you've only been there since December, you're trying to
spice it up. Zhuzh it up.
And make people more interested. And so do people, when they first hear about, okay, it's 5 years, do they get kind of like, what are we possibly going to do in 5 years?
I think it is like, what, 5 years? But I think, because one of the things I don't think we really talked, Takia hit on it a little bit earlier, the goals.
Okay.
So when you're looking at the 5 years, you have goals that we are gonna look at. Now and the thing is, you tell me your goals. Okay. Like, I'm not gonna come to you and say, Takia, I think you need to do A, B, C, and D, because that's your life is not my life, and that's what I always tell people. I'm not living your life, so you need to put down the goals that you want to accomplish, not what you think I want you to accomplish.
Okay.
So one person, I always love to use this young lady as an example. One of her goals was to simply get her driver's license.
Okay.
That was one of her goals. Now, when she went and took the test, she failed it 8 times. And every time she failed it, I'm like, no, ma'am, just go back, take a breather. Don't go back tomorrow. Take a few days, take a week or two. Look at it again, try again. And she would fail it again, and she would call me again, Ms. Kesha. I'm like, okay, that was that time. Get back up, let's try it again. So she finally when she got her permit, she was so excited. And I was in that office about to just fall out because this girl got her permit. But that was one of her goals. To some people, that may not be anything, but to her, that was everything. Because once you get your permit, get your license, you get a car, that means you can drive, that means you can go to interviews, that means you can find a job.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that was a setting her up on a foundation to be successful.
That's awesome.
So the goals, once you stretch them out over that 5 years, you don't feel so pressured to try to finish school in a year and a half.
Okay.
You don't feel pressure to try to get your credit cleaned up in 6 months. Let's be real. You got to be realistic about the goals.
Because it didn't take.
It didn't take you 6 months to tear. Well, it may have. It may have taken you 6 months to tear it up.
Okay.
But so it may take you a little bit longer to get it cleaned up. So.
But I think, we as society, we have kind of got into this. We live in a microwave type,
absolutely,
world. Like we want things to happen now,
instantly.
And
yes,
no. And I've been learning that for myself personally. Things do not happen overnight, and it's okay for them to stretch out. And it's actually a little more beneficial when they're more stretched out because you have time to work on your own self,
absolutely,
and get to learn who you are, redevelop who you are.
Absolutely. So you still have the time frame there, but it's not so much pressure. You know what I'm saying? The time frame is kind of set at your pace. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Mr. Kia, as you were going through the program, did you find there were times that, there was a lot of self revelation, a lot of like, wow, I didn't either know that about myself, I need to change this about myself, or you realize some things about you that you either want to change, want to improve, want to, I don't know, just what were some revelations you may have had that you can share with us going through the program?
I would probably go back to when it came to school. Nobody could have told me that I would have graduated college. When I got out of high school, I told my parents, like, I'm not going to college. I'm going to work. I'm done with school. I'm grown now, so you can't make me go to school no more. So, I just thought, man, I'm like, high school's hard. I can only imagine what college was going to be like.
Yeah.
But I did it. And I think that made me feel all right. It made me feel all right.
That's awesome. And so were you able to take your experience of going through school maybe to help talk to your child about, okay, maybe traditional college may not be for you, but some other type of education outside of high school? And I know they're only 13, but it's still never too early to start thinking about future, goals and aspirations. So were you able to talk to your child about it?
Yeah, we did. We talked about it a lot. That's another reason why I want to continue and go ahead and finish what I'm doing now as well, because I got in my mind that I can't try to force my child to go to college when I didn't even get a college degree.
Okay. And there's all types of opportunities out there that don't require college, but however in today's society they require some type of certification or license. So
that's what I was gonna say too.
Okay.
When we were talking about the goals, and even in saying I don't want you doing what I think college may not be for you, like you were saying, the certifications and different things. That is fine. If you want to be a welder,
and
they make some hunty. The welding and the electricians back and the plumbers come through here. Yes. So if that's what you want to do, go weld, plumb, and be the electrician. Do what you want to do that's going to make you successful, because I'm not living in your home. I'm not you. And sometimes I think we try to force people to do what we think they should do, and then they're miserable and they're unhappy. That's not, if your son wants to be a welder and he doesn't want to be blue collar, or what is it, white collar, then let him have the blue collar. It's fine.
Because we need those people. I know we're kind of getting sidetracked.
Don't we get sidetracked? We always get sidetracked.
But we need those people. Like, someone has to do those jobs.
Somebody has to do it.
We need those individuals who are willing to do it in our society. And again, they make pretty good money, so don't knock it.
They do.
So hopefully someone out there is listening. Maybe there are some men who are either single fathers or husbands or whatever that are on Section 8.
And I have had a couple of guys now. They didn't follow through, but they were on the list to be a part of the program. And I have reached out. So there are some men on Section that could have been in the program like that. They didn't follow through with it. But yeah.
And since we brought that up, do you feel sometimes that it's women who get, that society maybe paints this picture that it's only women that are receiving most of these government assistance?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what you see out front. You don't see, and that's what I'm saying. Even with the government assistance, it's all different types of circumstances that happen to people. It's not just necessarily because it's a young woman and she had 3 babies and so now she has to get on Section 8. It's not always like that. It could be somebody that was married for a long time. They got a divorce. Husband could have died. Wife could have died. Could be the husband lost his wife. It could, whatever. It could be any kind of circumstance. And now this person has no income. It is, or the person got sick. They can't work anymore. So now they have to get government assistance. So you can't just sum up government assistance by always thinking it's just a single mama with what you think 5 kids by 5 different daddies, and you don't know the story. You don't know what happened. You don't know the story. But that's what you see. That's what you mostly see all the time, and that's about 95% of it. But that other 5%, you have to realize other people and other circumstances that also get on assistance.
You think that we need to change the narrative in our society? I can't speak on Section 8 because I'm under a different program.
Yeah.
But however, do you think we need to change the narrative in society? Again, there are people who are living in situations that could be a little better if they were receiving the assistance they needed just to get that hand up, not a handout, to elevate themselves. So do you
I think so. I don't think it's not a bad thing. We have this, like, sometimes, like, this about it. And I'm like, if you need help, you just need help. You just do. And so I think if you, like you said, we do change the narrative about it, it's not so taboo. That's what I'm trying to say. And not make it so, girl, they over there in public housing shit. And it's not that all the time. Now, some people, when that's the generation that you always had, that's what my mama did, my grandmama did, my auntie did, we all stayed over there, and that's just kind of inbred in you. Now, you do have to, I think at some point you do need to break the mold and do something different, but you can't look down on individuals when you have to take that route, because you may have to come back and take that route, because you don't never know what life may bring you.
That's right.
So,
yes, ma'am. All right. Let's say good morning.
Been there, done that.
I know. Say good morning to Tiffany Williams and Josh Wright, who says, look at the Kia. Thank you all for checking in. All right, so Miss Takia, as you were going through the program, or even, when people knew that you were on, Section 8, did you ever face some of those criticisms that we just talked about, or do you feel like even as you were going through the program, you were setting your goals and you were just trying to work through whatever steps you needed, and maybe people became more aware? Did you face any criticism, or did you get a lot of support?
I got a lot of support.
Okay. That's awesome. And so, your friends, did they try to also help you? They saw what you were trying to do, and they were like, okay, let me get on board and help you. Did they try to help you in any way?
No, I would put that on my siblings.
Okay.
My siblings had me on that one.
That's awesome. Now, Kesha, can you talk on that aspect of how important it is to have a support system going through the program? Because, again, there will be some challenging times. There will be things that you don't want to do, or you may hit some roadblocks.
Absolutely. I think the support, that's probably one of the biggest things that's going to help the individual be successful in the program. When I came on board, one of my goals was to try to develop a relationship with all of them first.
Okay.
Because when you've been, and she knows, because when I say this, she's gonna probably light her fire. But when you have been through several coordinators have been in the position previously. So if you're in something for 5 years, but every 6 months or every other year you see a new face, are you going to build up trust in this program and in the people in the program? More than likely not. See how she came alive with that? So she said negative, and I wouldn't. So one of my first goals, and I said this in a meeting that we had as well with our PCC board, I wanted to develop a relationship with them, because if they didn't trust me, first of all, I was going to stick and stay.
Okay.
And then that I could be a listening ear and then actually help them. They're not going to be successful. I mean, why would they? Okay. Why would you want to stick and stay in a program and the coordinator can't even be trusted or be there, can
Yes,
come
ma'am.
back and it may be a different face. So I think the support is critical in helping with the program. The outside support, and then me as well, being available to support them. But yeah, if they've got, and that's one of the questions that you ask when you're trying to get new people in. Okay, who's going to help you? Do you have support? Like, who's in your corner? You have family, you have some friends, you have church. I mean, who's going to help you? Because once if you're in a group of 10 people and nobody has ever done any of this stuff, and you're the first one, who's going to support you?
Since you've been in your position, have you had a chance to communicate with other coordinators in other counties across Arkansas? I know with some careers, some jobs, there's like this network of people that communicate, so you can share ideas off of each other.
No, I honestly have not. What we do have, we have a PCC board that is a group of resources from Jonesboro. For instance, we have someone from the library. We have Corey Mills and Tamara Jensen work at Bancorp South. They help with the credit. We have just different Reverend Coleman, Dr. Coleman, he's on there. Dr. Ota, he's on there. Who else? It's several. I'm going blank right now, but it's several different agencies. Arkansas Workforce is a part of it. So those I can pull from them. Like, hey, I've got Betty Sue over here. She needs A, B, C, and D. Can you help me? And so I can call them, give them referrals. Hey, if you need whatever, you can go see Betty Sue over here at this office, and she should be able to help you. So that's how we kind of work together. That's the support system for me. But I haven't actually sat down and spoken with other FSS coordinators.
And I wonder if,
that's a good idea, Kabila.
And, Ms. Takia, she could tell more about what it's like going through different coordinators. You start getting this momentum in the program, and all of a sudden, oh, hi, I'm somebody new. And so it's like, okay, now I got to start all over, building this relationship and trust with this person. And like, they don't know my story. They just see, they just see my name on a paper. Yes. And so now it's like, okay, got to start this all over again. So I don't want to get into too many details because we're not trying to throw shade on anybody.
No.
What was it like for you though, experiencing new people once you started getting some momentum and you're making progress in the program?
It was stressful because I went through quite a few different coordinators, and each one of them was telling me something different. One would tell me that I only got this to do, so I'm working on this one specific thing, and then, like she said, maybe 6 months later, I get another one, and they're like, no, you haven't even did A and B. Why are you working on C right now? Like, it was a lot. It was a lot.
And that's unfair to the participants. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
When you think that you've got 6 months left, or you've only got 2 more things to do, and then you look back and you got 5 more things to do, and it's like, what?
And that was me.
And that was her. Yeah, exactly.
Before she came, I was told I only had, I think, one thing left to do, and I ended up having 2, I want to say. Either 2, but in my mind, I'm like, man, I just got this one little simple, and it was something really simple. Then when she came and gave me something different that wasn't as simple, I'm like, okay, here we go again.
Well, and this is one thing. The reason I asked the question, if you had a chance,
we're not throwing any shade, as Kabila said earlier. We're just being honest about where we are, and I'm not boasting as far as me. I'm just saying we had to establish. That was my goal, to establish relationships so they know that I'm going to stick and stay. So let me make that very clear.
And I hope anyone in any type of service industry, especially when you're dealing with social services, they make that a priority. It's okay, this person is already humbling themselves to come to me for whatever the services are.
Absolutely.
I need to humble myself, or position myself to be open, receptive, compassionate, welcoming, all of the above, so that we can build this rapport, so they can be successful in their program, I can be successful with them, so the reason I asked about if you had a chance to communicate with other coordinators, because some people may get into a job and look at it as a job versus I'm here to help people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I haven't done that yet. That's a really good idea. But I will say, you can ask my husband or anybody that's close to me, I love this job. Okay. I absolutely do. It is one of the most rewarding. Now she graduated on the 1st, and not just even her grad, but just to see progress in people, because they push me. Because some stuff I'm like, man, if they can do that, I know I can do, whatever. So they even push me. Just their push to be successful pushes me to want to be better. So I love it. I love what I do. I appreciate, like you said, them being, because it's no room to be grand or haughty in it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's a very humbling experience, because like you said, they're being humbling themselves to say, hey, I trust you to help me do this. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it takes a lot. And I can tell you, even though I'm over 40, mm-hmm. there are some times I still need help with certain things. And so it's that, okay, I need to go talk to this person about this thing, and I don't know how they're going to receive me, or how they're going to look at me, like, you should be in a different place in your life. All these different things, so for people, again, I'm throwing this out there. If you are in a social service industry, please be receptive of the people that are coming to you. Absolutely. And be warm and compassionate, because it takes a lot for someone to say, I need help. Absolutely. Because at some point, we've all needed help. Everybody has needed somebody at some point. Yes. Everybody. So please be compassionate, because that could be your family that's going to get help from somebody else. So your friends, you never know. Or again, like you mentioned before, it could be you. An unfortunate situation happens, and it could be you. Absolutely. I'm going to get off that soapbox for the day. We do have a message that came through our inbox. Officer Haggans, I don't know why he can't find him, but he said he's super proud of both of you all. Oh, thank you. I want to thank Officer Haggans, everyone out there who supports KLK and all that we try to do. This is why we do what we do, to bring conversations like this to the table, so that people can have access to information and hear real people's stories. So we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up our discussion. Ms. Kesha will give you some more insights and highlights to the program and how you can contact her. And we'll let Ms. Takia share any final thoughts she may have, any encouraging words to anyone else out there listening. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. I know you've been told, sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. The problem with this is that those really making it can always tell you're faking it. So I'm telling you point blank, live within your means. Stop spending money to just look like you have money. Get a less expensive car. Stay away from the mall. Get on a budget. Cook at home and pack leftovers for lunch instead of dining out every day. Focus on paying your debts and saving money, not just looking rich. So many people are desperate for ways to fund their retirements or start businesses, but the money they need is hanging in their closets, sitting in their garages, covering their backs and feet, or paying the interest on the credit card they use to buy those new flat screen TVs and smartphones. Don't fake it till you make it. Focus on making it so you don't have to fake it. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization focused on joy in our sisterhood, power in our voice, and service in our hearts. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Starks Auto Plaza at 2829 Red Wolf Boulevard is a proud KLEK supporter, offering luxury pre-owned vehicles sold wholesale to the public. At Starks, we never say no. 870-203-9980. Details at starksautoplaza.com.
The key to making this station even better could be parked in your driveway right now. Donate your old car to us. You'll get a tax deduction, and we'll tow it away for free.
Go to klekfm.org for more information.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
Hello, I'm Officer Victoria Evans. I have always had a desire to help others in need and to be an example and role model to young women by encouraging them to never give up on their dreams. My dream was to become a police officer and to serve my community. In 2016, that dream became a reality, and it is the most rewarding experience of my life. Now I want to let you know about the same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing every month for patrol officers. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com or at the Police Department, 1001 South Caraway Road. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information is available at 870-935-5657.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. My special guest today is Ms. Kesha Haggans and Ms. Takia Hilliard. We have been having a great on-air and off-air conversation. So
Yes.
You can be here.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to get back to our conversation and wrap up anything that we didn't cover. And I'm just going to let Ms. Kesha and Ms. Takia have the floor.
The last thing I'm going to say, I don't think we really covered the incentives of the program. One big part of the program is that participants we are able to set up an escrow account for them. So what happens is, even if you're not working, even if you're not working, you can still be a part of the program. Once you begin earning income, it has to be earned income. Okay. So the more earned income comes in, of course, that's going to make your rent go up. Okay. So the more your rent goes up, it's going to be a percentage of that goes into an escrow account for you. Okay. So the more money you make, and Takia, she's a witness. The more money you make, the higher your rent's going to be. The more your escrow is going to accumulate. Now, sometimes you may have a season, you may, things happen, you may lose a job, something, anything can happen. Okay. You don't just lose that money. You won't accumulate, let's say you don't have a job for 3 months. Well, you're not going to accumulate that escrow for 3 months. Okay. But if you have money sitting there, your money's still sitting there, and then you also accumulate interest. Ooh. Okay, so by the time, and it's however hard you work, it's however hard you hustle, it's whatever you're doing to build up your escrow, so you can graduate with a substantial amount, but it's up to how the individual works and what they do. Okay, so that's a huge incentive. Do they get the money? Yes. Okay. Do we keep? No, we don't. You get your money, but the only way you don't get it is if you do not comply with the program. Okay. If something happens and you become non-compliant with the program, it goes back into I don't get the money. Okay. Okay. Number one, I don't get it. It goes back into the juror account. It goes back into that. But the only way you don't get it is if you are non-compliant, if you're terminated, different circles. So you have to work the program in order to receive that benefit.
Okay. Mr. Kia, as you were going through the program, did you encounter any individuals that, got, pretty far down to maybe 3 years in, and they just decided, I'm not doing this anymore?
I actually didn't.
Okay.
I didn't run into anyone else that was a part of the program.
Okay. Also, you don't get to meet the rest of the individuals. You don't do group sessions.
They do work. They meet each other in the workshops.
Okay.
In the workshops.
But I didn't know any of them on a personal level to be able to. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Kesha, since you've been there, looking at the records, have you seen anyone's found that they were close to completing, and then I don't know if life happened or they just decided.
Not close to complete. I have had some that I had 2 that dropped out because they felt like they had too much going on in their life. They just couldn't commit, because you have to come and see me. You have to maintain, your appointments, and it's just other things. It's not just a work. I mean, you have to do things. You're trying to meet your goals. Then you're living your regular life. Okay. Then you're coming to see me, and then you're taking care of your other bit, whatever you got. So it may be it may be too much, for them. So I had 2 that dropped out. I've had a couple that were, due to non-compliance, they were asked to not be a part of the program anymore. Okay. And then I have, sometimes people move. I had one to move.
Okay.
And so it's just different. It's just different circumstances, different things. Some of those people actually did have escrow, and they were not able to take their funds because of the different things. Well, I mean, hey, it's part of it.
I would hate to go through all of that, and then it's like, okay, now you're null and void. Oh my gosh.
If they ever come back and they get back on Section 8, they could possibly, I don't know.
Like you said, it's a waiting list, though. So
it is a waiting list.
They would just have to see if
they have to wait.
See if their number comes up.
If your number comes up.
All right. I want to say good morning to Dominique Phillips, and thank you to every single person out there that has been tuning in, checked in, chimed in to Community Conversations each and every day and today. Thank you for your feedback. In our last 2 minutes, Mr. Kia, do you have any final words or of encouragement or anything you'd like to say?
I just want to say that it is a good program, so if you can become a part of it, go for it.
Okay.
It's going to help you in the long run, most definitely.
All right. Well, we thank you. Any final words, Ms. Kesha?
The last thing I want to say, I'm going to do a plug real quick. There is a homeowners seminar coming up in August the 29th at Fullness of Joy Church on 2120 Thorn Street. It will be hosted by Miss Tamara Jansen and Corey Mills from Bancorp South.
Okay.
It's a free seminar. Childcare will be provided. It's from 6 to 8 on August the 29th at Fullness of Joy Ministries.
All right. I'm sure we would definitely be plugging that again in between now and then. And I've had a conversation with Corey. He's like, even if homeownership is not on your immediate list, you're on the top of your list, it's still something you need to start looking into.
Absolutely.
Even if it's 2 or 3 years down the line, because there's a lot of steps involved
so
in the process.
So many steps. Yes.
So,
yes.
If you're one of those individuals who are receiving some type of housing assistance, go to this workshop.
This is free for anybody. This is community.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that's particular because you never know what information you receive, how it will be helpful to you. Especially if self-sufficiency is one of your goals in life. So
yes.
All right. So we thank you all for joining us today. Thank you so much for sharing this program. And I hope to see many more graduates, successful graduates come through this program.
Me too.
All right. Thank you, everyone out there. Tomorrow is All Gospel Wednesday, but Community Conversation will be back at 9 a.m. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great and blessed day. Try to stay cool and hydrated.